Time for sports, and filling in tonight, Meg Storms. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you're going to start with Oilers. Their brutal road trip is almost over.
Yes, it is almost over. They have one more to go in Pittsburgh on Sunday morning. Tonight, they deserved a break in Detroit, so off to Joe Louis we go. The Oilers come out strong. Just 2 minutes in, Ryan Jones gets past the defenders, but he can't beat Jimmy Howard. Now Jones again looking for the back of the net, and he finds it. A weak goal for Howard. Jones' 15th of the season. Oilers up 1-0. Edmonton keeps coming late in the second. Jordan Eberle and Tom Gilbert on a 2-on-1. Howard gets the pad out. In the dying seconds of the period, Nicholas Lidstrom wrister from the point. Devin Dubnyk knows better. He's waving it off, and for good reason. Take another look. It's off Bertuzzi's glove, and no goal. Third period, Andrew Cogliano simply no luck with his mouth this season, and he takes yet another blow. Oh, that looks pretty sore. 30 seconds left in the game. Red Wings pull Howard, and a delayed penalty leads to this.
The puck comes back to Lidstrom. Lidstrom lets the shot go. A score!
The Oilers blow their one-goal lead in the dying seconds, so we're going to need overtime. Colin Fraser he wins the battle here down low against Jonathan Eriksson. He tees it up for Gilbert Brulé. Howard comes up huge there, and in the last minute of the extra frame, Pavel Datsyuk delays, fires, beats Dubnyk. Heartbreaking loss for the hardworking Oil. 2-1 the final in Motor City. Dubnyk makes 42 saves on the night, but it's not enough to beat the third best team in the NHL. Next up, the Penguins minus Crosby, Sunday morning at 11. The Oil Kings on the road in Prince Albert tonight, so close to a playoff spot that they can almost smell it. Just 5 games left in the season. They got off to a great start. Clark Wilson's shot deflects off Travis Owanek. Edmonton up by 1. Raiders respond. Justin Malin battles to put it in front, and Austin Connor is there to snap it in. It's a tie game. Later in the first, Michael St. Croix breaks in, redirects off a Raiders stick, and he beats Jamie Tucker. Oil Kings are back in front. Second period, Todd Fiddler to Brandon Herod to Mark McNeil. Tic-tac-toe, all tied at 2. Raiders find their stride. Mike Winther with the rebound. The rookie puts it home. PA has their first lead of the game, and the Raiders in the third. Owanek gets a breakaway, but Antoine Corbin with the diving poke check. The Raiders add an empty netter to take it 5-2. Red Deer Rebels in Medicine Hat tonight facing the Tigers. Both these teams have playoff spots clinched, so that's one is for pride. It takes overtime, but the Tigers win it 3-2. Game 1 of the Canada West final at Clare Drake. Bears and Dinos both going to nationals, but the hate was still on. Alberta came out hard and fired 2 behind Dustin Butler in the first 5 minutes, but the Calgary keeper held the Bears at bay for the next 40. Plenty of bodywork on display. Ben Lindmulder and Reed Jorgensen draw a crowd in the corner. The Dinos starting to get a little sloppy in their own zone. Greg Gardner steals, but he can't solve Butler. Mid-third now. Alberta's Chad Clausen to a wide-open CanWest MVP Derek Ryan rips it shelf for his second of the night. The Bears take game 1, 3-0. Curtis Muka, 32 stops for the shutout. The Pandas hockey squad out east tonight, wrapping up Nationals versus Queens. No chance for gold, but a win still works. Pandas down 1-0 in the second until Alana Cabana convinces this puck to go in on the power play. Alberta back on even terms, but in the shootout, Queens got it done. Pandas will fight for 5th place on Sunday. And the Camrose, Kodiaks, and Brooks Bandits playing Game 5 of the best-of-7 series tonight, currently tied at 2 in the 4th overtime. Just over 12 hours until Kevin Martin and Team Alberta put their Briar hopes on the hogline versus Ontario. The 3-4 game is just the latest battle in this long-running and one-sided rivalry versus Glenn Howard. The story from Adam Cook in London.
Is back in 2008.
It hurts. Yeah, that stings. It's a hell of a run they've had against us. And, we, up to maybe a couple of years ago, we were sort of 50-50 against them, and they've really pulled ahead. And, It's hard to put your finger on it.
I guess as a team, we're comfortable playing against Glenn's team.
Some of the most painful losses of Howard's career have come against Kevin Martin, like the 2008 Brier Final and the Olympic curling trials in '09. It's a huge rivalry between two teams that genuinely like each other, but there was a minor flare-up at the Roar of the Rings.
Don't start with me.
And then it'll go back there.
Straight up in the air with a hair broom.
When you're out on the ice, it gets a little intense, but off the ice we'll have a beer with them. So it's unique. It's
like rugby.
It's just like rugby.
Martin's record versus Ontario is lopsided, but the games usually aren't. The difference is this: Alberta always forces Ontario to play a pressure-filled game.
I played tougher shots last night than I did all week because they put pressure on you. And what happens is we've got to put the pressure on. We got to reverse that and put the pressure on them. We just got to make a half shot more than they do every end.
No, you're right. We get up for them, and we generally play pretty well. But they play well against us, too. So it's not like it's a one-way street. They're usually tie games coming home.
We got a good streak against them right now, but that could easily change over the next 2 years. We could lose 7 in a row. So they just bring out the best in us.
And you have to remember that Glenn Howard also lost to Kevin Cooey in last year's Brier Final, so he's looking to shake the Alberta curse. But we should mention that Glenn Howard did defeat Kevin Martin at this year's Canada Cup. Reporting from the 2011 Brier in London, Ontario, Adam Cook, CTV Sports.
And here is the 1-2 game winner straight to Sunday night's final. Manitoba and Newfoundland tied at 5 in the ninth. Brad Gushu, Sporting Hammer, and talk about pressure, drawing against 3 Manitoba counters here. They get it to the button, but would it go too far? By about 1 centimeter it does. Stoughton steals and leads 6-5. Tied at 6 now in the 11th. Gushu lying 2. Stoughton needs to find the button. And here's why Manitoba has been so good all week. Never in doubt on this one. Stoughton gets the single and the win and takes Saturday off.
The CTV Curling Report, sponsored by Horse Racing Alberta, proud contributors to the Alberta Lottery Fund.
And while he went in as the top long jumper in Canada, Alberta Golden Bear Stephen McPhee had a rough night at his first CIS Nationals. The Bentley product finished in 6th place with a jump of 6.87 meters. And how about Jen Heil, the queen of moguls from Spruce Grove, winding up her competitive season in style as silver in Sweden in the 3rd last race of her amazing career. The 2-time Olympic medalist, soon to be retired, and her knees really couldn't be any happier about it.
I bet.
And just an update on that AJHL game. Brooks Bandits did end up winning 3-2 in the 4th overtime.
Oh, wow. That's a marathon. Stay with us. We're back right after this break.